Troy Taylor was a bright spot today with a solid eighth inning. Young guy that I'd love to see get more of a setup role. Other than that, I got nothing. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. Mariners dropped this one tonight, 3-2 to the A's. Same script as it has been for the last, on this whole road trip. Another walk-off loss. It's different heroes for the other team, different zeros for the Mariners, but the result remains the same. Mariners lose at 3-2. They fall to 69-70 on the season. They are under 500. Wow. If you guys can do me the favor, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new or lurking, and comment your thoughts down below. I'm losing my voice here, but before I get into the recap, I want to thank everybody so much for all the support in the video yesterday. First of all, over 2,000 views, which blows my mind for a team that is collapsing, really not in the playoff race right now outside of just, they haven't been eliminated yet. And all the kind words and all the support for my channel. And I do not say this lightly. It keeps me going. It really does. The kind words, the support. If it was all negative, and again, not negative at the team. Negative at the team is fine. I mean, negative towards me, I couldn't do it. It would burn me out. But your guys' support and gals does keep me going. The super chats or super thanks, Bert and Mr. Moses. It truly does mean a lot to me. So thank you to everybody that continues to like, continues to comment. Really do appreciate it. Really do. And listen, we're in this together, right? I say it all the time. There are different ways to build a baseball winning team. There are. But one thing we can all agree on is we want this team to win. We do. We are on the same team here. And I will say this, when they do get there, it's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. I don't know how gray the beard may get at that time, but it'll be even sweeter for us to, with what all that we've been through when the Mariners finally do ascend to the top. Rocking the Geno jersey today. Hopefully Geno cooks on Sunday against the Denver Broncos. I'm looking forward to the Seahawks opener. My gosh, do I need a palate cleanser from baseball right now, and hopefully that'll be the Seahawks this Sunday. So we'll see what happens. Same story for this Mariners team, right? Like, this is now Dan Wilson's 6th loss as manager. They've all been by 1 run. Like I said, different hero for their team. Tonight it's Seth Brown. Last night it was Langoliers. 2 nights ago for the Angels, it was Randone. Then it was Moniak and Adele. It doesn't change. It's just this team cannot get out of their own way in these games. I don't know how you score 2 runs, 3 batters into it. JP singles, Julio doubles, Cal doubles. I'm thinking, okay, here we go, right? Like, it's been frustrating, but this is looks like it's going to be a kind of an easy win. Ginn doesn't look great. Mariners are going to pile on some runs. Castillo will be solid, 6-7 innings. And you're going to have like a 6-1, 6-2 victory. And listen, I say all the time, it doesn't eliminate the frustrations, but I don't care if my team is the Chicago White Sox, the Houston Astros, whoever it may be. Winning feels better than losing. It is nice to sit down on the couch, turn on the game, and watch my team win games. Don't care where they're at in the standings. I would much rather turn it on and enjoy a win than turn it on and watch them lose. It's that simple. So it looked like it was going to be a nice win. And then the offense doesn't do anything. I don't even know if they got a runner in scoring position the rest of the game. It was atrocious. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you get 2 runs, 3 batters in, and then nothing the rest of the way. It's just incredible, this team. Every night, this team just does something that just blows my mind. And I go, I didn't know that was possible. And then the Seattle Mariners seem to find a way. And poor Luis Castillo, because he threw the ball exceptionally well today. 7 innings, 4 hits, 5 hits? Let me pull up. 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 5 Ks. Yeah, frustrating giving up the home run to Butler, first batter into the game. And then Seth Brown gets him as well. But to go 7 innings, 2 runs is an extremely solid start. It goes back to what I said a couple weeks ago. Of more quality starts and the Mariners don't win. Now, the pitching hasn't been quite as great recently, but overall, that's really been another theme of the season is losing these quality starts. And that's a decent A's lineup. Lawrence Butler's been one of the best hitters in baseball since the All-Star break. Rooker's got a 945 OPS. Blade has been good, 789 OPS. Langoliers is solid, 738 OPS. Seth Brown's not bad. Gelof's a decent player, hasn't been great this year. Wilson's a legitimate prospect, son of former Mariner Jack Wilson, which makes me feel old. That's not a bad lineup. It's really not. It's better than the Mariners lineup, to be truthfully honest. That's a great start from Luis Castillo. You got to win that. You have to. You've got to win these starts. Throw this one into that pile of the 6 shutout innings and a loss, 7 shutout innings and a loss, 6 2/3, 1 run and a loss, 5 innings, no earned runs and a loss. And it's not like you can even say, oh, he didn't go deep in the game with 7 innings. Castillo did his job there. How about Troy Taylor? Really nice to see. I'm going to try and find 1 or 2 positives in each video that I do. One thing that's tough, and I talked about a little bit last night, is, obviously this team has collapsed. We've talked about that several times, but it's not like they're bringing up a bevy of prospects. The prospects are still further away. You could bring up Cole Young, but, if they were bringing up, and I'm not saying bring all these guys up, but if they were close and you brought up Cole Young, Emerson, Montez, Ford, Michael Arroyo, let's say these guys were ready, you brought them up, there'd be some fun, exciting things to talk about. The future is now. You'd be preaching that and seeing these young kids develop. And at least the losses, you could kind of use it as teaching lessons. These are all veteran guys. I mean, there's some younger guys on the team, but this is a veteran team. There's no lessons to be learned here anymore. It's put up or shut up time for these guys. And they're shutting up. They're not getting it done. And truthfully, the best performance today was probably, outside of Castillo, was Troy Taylor, who's a rookie. He did his job with the 2 strikeout shutout inning. Really want to see Taylor get more high leverage innings as the year dwindles away here. Munoz obviously is hurt. Didn't pitch yesterday in the tie game. Wasn't even getting loose in the bullpen when it looked like they may take the lead in the 9th inning. It was Thornton and Snyder, for that 9th inning there. So obviously Munoz is down. Listen, I'm not going to get on Dan too much for managerial decisions. One, I just don't have the energy anymore. This team's falling out of it. Next year, offseason, we'll start to dive into Dan a little bit more. I like Dan. I think he'd be a good leader for this team. I get going to Thornton can be frustrating there. I don't even mind, though, at this point in the year if Dan's just going like, hey, you know what? Thornton's been a little bit better his last few outings. Let's see what he can do. I really am at that point where I'm not going to throw a fit at any of these things, really. Like, it just is what it is at this point. Season is, done at least for me. I don't have any playoff aspirations anymore. I've been there for a few days, or probably maybe even longer, but you're 3-4 back. You're still kind of like, oh, it's possible. I can't see it anymore. And this team has shown nothing to make me believe that they'd go on that run. Sure, they can go like 19-4 the rest of the way. Even then, you do the math, and it would still be difficult to do that because you would need teams essentially to go 13-10, which a lot of those teams can be better than that. That may not even get it done for you at this point in the year. So that's why I'm just kind of checked out of the playoffs. I love nothing more than to see this team just go on an amazing run the rest of the way. I will celebrate it every step of the way, but I don't see anything from this team that makes me believe that can happen. So, we'll see what they end up doing here. But yeah, I'd give Taylor more high leverage spots. I'm not saying you don't give them to Snyder, but certainly I wouldn't give many to Thornton at this point. I'm not going to throw a huge fit tonight. But here's the thing. If it's Thornton over Taylor, I'll throw a fit. But if it's, just Taylor's pitched, and you're going away from Snyder because he pitched yesterday, the pen's just not very good right now, especially if Munoz is down. Not a lot of arms out there, with the Brash, Santos, and Garcia injury. So it's kind of pick your poison a little bit. So that's another reason why Taylor needs to be getting more high leverage spots. Trent Thornton strikes out Rooker. Then he walks Blade, or did he give a base hit to Blade, or did he walk Blade? Walked Blade. Listen, the Langoliers Brown singles weren't hit that hard or anything, but it's just the microcosm of the season for the Mariners. So that's another reason I'm just kind of, I can't have a lot of emotion towards it. Right? If they were tied for the division lead, I'd be going off, but truly they were tied for the division lead. Munoz is probably pitching through a little bit of the troubles. I'm assuming it's the back, and where they're at in the standings, I imagine they're just not pushing it right now. So I don't know if I mentioned it already, but crazy that all 6 of the losses under Dan Wilson have been by 1 run, and they've all felt gut-wrenching to an extent. It's really curious what this team is going to end up doing here, with Dan Wilson, because I like Dan. I think he deserves a shot here. You've hired him. You've got to let him have an opportunity here. Scott got 9-10 years. I can't make an assessment of Dan Wilson in 15 games. But did Jerry hire Dan, or did ownership hire Dan? If it's Jerry that hired Dan, then I think we know Jerry's back next year. And I think that's what they're going to do anyways. Not what I would do, but what I think they're leaning towards. Because you wouldn't give Jerry the autonomy to make that hire if he's not back. If it's ownership that hired Dan and there's a chance they move on from Jerry, it's going to be really interesting because a new GM's probably going to want his guy. Now, I think Dan's a respected guy. I think a new GM might be willing to work with him, but really curious. They've kind of put themselves in a spot here where I don't know. It's just, it can work out. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it, but you certainly hope, depending on what they're going to do this offseason, it is interesting. It's an interesting dynamic. So I'm kind of curious how that plays out. I mean, my gut feeling is they're going to bring Jerry back. Maybe Justin's out at the very least. I could see something there. You guys know my thought on it. I think you need to start this thing over. Maybe not start it over in terms of on the field. I think you do have some players you can work with, but in the front office, there's too much negativity in the bloodstream, too much toxic stuff, too much stuff coming out where, guys actually really didn't like Scott, potentially. Casey Sadler was talking about that. Cameron Maben mentioned it. Now, guys have defended Scott too, but, and some of it stems from Jerry. If that was that bad, why weren't you making a change? And then the product's just not good enough. I don't even care about what Jerry said in press conferences last year. I don't. I really don't. The bottom line for me is the product's not good. A CEO can come up from a burger joint and say some weird things. If he makes a damn good burger, I don't really care what his comments are. Like, just keep making the burger, man. Jerry's not making the burger. The team is not good enough. So comments notwithstanding, 54%, whatever people want to criticize him for, I don't have too much problem with that. I have a problem with the team not being good. That's my issue. And it's just trajecting downwards. And then just the way they're playing is frustrating. What was Randy doing in the 8th inning on that Justin Turner at bat, or the 9th inning? I don't remember. Turner strikes out on a 3-2 pitch swinging. I think the pitch was a strike. Langoliers didn't frame it well, so probably would have been called a ball. Turner goes around. I'm signaling that he swung. Randy's stealing second and just stops because he thinks it's ball 4. Just run it through. If it's ball 4, great. You're safe. Don't have to worry about it. Why stop? Just this team, like I said in the beginning, just you don't. Every day they do something. They go, I didn't know that was possible in baseball. And the Seattle Mariners just continue to seem to find a way to do it. So positives: Luis Castillo was really good. Troy Taylor was good. Thornton was not. JP was 1 for 4, got his first hit since coming back. Good. But he also grounded into a brutal double play on a 3-1 pitch. More frustration there. Julio was 1 for 4 at the double. Swinging a better bat on this road trip for sure. He's been more patient, selective at the plate. That has been really good to see. Hopefully, I would say that's another thing to look at. Love to see Troy Taylor in more high leverage spots. Would love to see a big finish from Brian Wu and a big finish from Julio to get some positive vibes for 2025. Cal 2 for 4 had the base hit, kind of blooped in there in the 2-run double. Nice game from Cal. Rosarino 0 for 3 with a walk. Rayleigh 0 for 3. Turner 0 for 1. Polanco 0 for 2 with a walk after sort of rebounding a little bit. Polanco's kind of now gone back down. Going to be a tough decision what they want to do with him in the offseason. I'm not even sure who's going to be here, management-wise, so we'll have to wait for that. Robles 0 for 2. Will say that catch was amazing by Robles in the outfield. He has continued to show up and play. I know some people were critical of the bunt. I don't think it was a sacrifice bunt. I think he was trying to bunt for a hit there. Just didn't get it far enough up the line. It just kind of died a little bit. So I didn't have a huge problem with it. It's part of Robles' game, and it's worked for him in the past. Robles continues to be fun to watch. He's one of the guys giving it his all out there, and good to see. Because truthfully, it looks like a team that's mailed it in a bit. They get the couple runs, and they just roll over the rest of the way. At least the hitters. Again, the pitching wasn't the problem tonight. Garver 0 for 2 with a walk. Rojas was 1 for 2. I don't remember the hit, but he got one. Dylan Moore pinched hit and had an atrocious 3-pitch strikeout. And his at-bat, just maddening to watch. And again, it reverses, like the offense can be on, and then the pitching doesn't perform. Tonight, the pitching is great, and the offense dies and rolls over after getting 2 early runs. I don't know what else to really say. Like I said yesterday, I really don't want these to be super negative, but I can't find much to be happy about. Taylor, good to see. Castillo, good to see. Hopefully Julio continues to have a good month. Look for individual performances. And, again, I will reiterate, don't feel bad about rooting for them to win. Don't. It's okay. I'm still rooting for them to win. They could lose the next 20. I'll still root for them to win the last 3. I'd rather sit on my couch, turn the game, watch them win. It would just be nice. Right now, I just want them to win just to remember the feeling a little bit. It would be nice to feel. So, super frustrating. George Kirby goes tomorrow. Really would like a bounce back from Kirby. He's had some rough outings. would get some good vibes going to see a Kirby bounce back tomorrow. So hopefully we get that. But it just seems like right now, what I said last night, tomorrow they'll find a new way to lose. And they did. And it just keeps feeling that way, unfortunately. So yeah, that's really all I got. Remember to hit that like button, comment your thoughts down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back tomorrow with the post-game recap. Enjoy your night, everybody. And as always, I know it's hard. Go Mariners. Go Mariners. Peace.